Welcome back to Conscious Ground Sound, your source of the best music both past and present. I'm Jay Endo, bringing you another new album review of Father John Misty's Pure Comedy, April 7th, 2017 release on Sub Pop Records. This is Father John Misty, aka Josh Tillman's third full-length album release under his chosen moniker. Father John Misty released Fear Fun in 2012 and I Love You Honey Bear in 2015, and now Pure Comedy in 2017. To rehash, Joshua Tillman was the drummer for the Fleet Foxes and also recorded 6 solo albums under his given name Jay Tillman that have an overall more folky sound than his later work as the high priest of confessional and psychedelic folk pop. Father John Misty's latest album, Pure Comedy, is a departure from his last release, I Love You Honey Bear, which was a collection of mostly love songs, whereas Pure Comedy finds Josh Tillman digging deeper into political, social, environmental, and religious realms that he somewhat prepped us for with songs like Bored in the USA and Holy Shit off of Honey Bear. Pure Comedy was produced by Josh Tillman and Jonathan Wilson. Jonathan Wilson is a musician and producer who was at the heart of the Laurel Canyon scene of recent times and has produced some notable works in his own right, such as his albums Fanfare in 2013 and Gentle Spirit in 2011. Jonathan Wilson is now the owner of 5 Star Studios in Los Angeles and has produced Father John Misty's I Love You Honey Bear and Fear Fun, Conor Oberst's Upside Down Mountain in 2014, and he has worked with Chris Robinson, Phil Lesh, and Will Oldham, among many others. Pure Comedy is Josh Tillman's lyrical and philosophical opus that even comes with an essay written by Josh Tillman that touches on the involved lyrical content on the album and goes a little deeper in the overall analysis. Musically speaking, Pure Comedy has a stripped-down acoustic guitar and piano accompaniment throughout, without the experimentation of electronic music and the psychedelic twist that his previous albums have delved into. The music is done well, but it really feels like more of a backdrop for the concepts and social critiques that Josh Tillman is trying to convey. A case in point is the 13-minute long Leaving LA that has 10 verses with acoustic guitar accompaniment through much of the song, where Tillman talks about leaving Los Angeles for New Orleans, the phoniness of the LA music scene, his white privilege, and in broad view, the song is a critique of himself and the album he's creating. Tillman sings, "Some 10-verse chorusless diatribe plays as they all jump ship. I used to like this guy. This new shit really kind of makes me want to die." Tillman is aware of the gloomy and self-indulgent territory he's exploring on this album, and he's made public in multiple interviews his battle with anxiety and depression and his use of microdoses of LSD to treat his condition. This, of course, puts his lengthy diatribe into perspective and explains the super critical lens of unabashed honesty that he focuses on all categories of contention, while also maintaining a self-deprecating awareness. The title track of the album, Pure Comedy, takes on the absurdity and folly of humanity starting at birth and proceeds to call bullshit on self-absorbed religious figures and politicians alike. Misty sings, "They build their fortunes poisoning their offspring and hand out prizes when someone patents the cure. Where did they find these goons they elected to rule?" Pure Comedy seems like the introductory statement for the musical thesis Tillman is about to present, which thoroughly fleshes out the often hypocritical and dystopian reality we are currently living through. The song starts in a somber way with piano, bass, and drums, and then opens up into a crescendo towards the end with saxophone lines and strings. The following track, Total Entertainment Forever, is the most up-tempo song on the album, with harmonized horn lines, and it's a grim statement on the oversaturation of media, technology, and personal devices that already consume us on a daily basis. Tillman starts the song with a reference to the Oculus Rift virtual reality headset as he sings, "Betting Taylor Swift every night inside the Oculus Rift." He goes on to say, "When the historians find us, we'll be in our homes, plugged into our hubs, skin and bones." The song, I think, correctly opines that people now prefer the company and safety of their devices in virtual reality as opposed to real encounters. It brings to mind the dystopian future portrayed by the Black Mirror series on Netflix, particularly the 15 Million Merits episode, which finds the characters prisoner to an ever-expanding technological obsession that dominates all aspects of life. All things considered, the rate of our technological isolation is advancing at an alarming pace, and this song underscores this point quite well. Pure Comedy also finds Tillman speculating on an overthrow of the system, which would return the planet and humans to their primordial state. This is outlined on things that would have been useful to know before the revolution. The hypothetical scenario of the polar ice caps freezing again and the end of a social class system is accompanied with the humorous lyric, "From time to time we all get a bit restless, with no one advertising to us constantly, but the tribe at the former airport some nights has meat and dancing, if you don't mind gathering and hunting." The song seems to suggest a coming collapse after a nuclear holocaust or some other fortunate occurrence that destroys the present paradigm of convenience-based first world luxury and stops the imminent destruction of our planet. The idea is nature will repair itself and human life will adapt as needed. The track Ballad of the Dying Man has the feel of an Amy Mann composition and some beautiful falsetto vocals by Josh Tillman. The song is a requiem for what sounds like a media critic or a songwriter like Jay Tillman. Tillman calls out homophobes, hipsters, and the 1% in his dying rant, and he makes sure to check his news feed one more time before he passes away. It's some dark humor that has a soul ensemble singing his departure at the end of the song. On the track Birdie, Misty talks about another version of a dystopian future where gender and race have been bred out of humanity, and the future is written in code, and business mergers are the new form of virtual warfare. I think the latter already exists, but the song overall seems to express Tillman's exhaustion with the human condition, and our seeming inability to love, respect, or even tolerate anyone that is considered the other. Misty also talks about the unfettered narcissism of success and the false adulation that some perceive as a harmonious state of being on the track A Bigger Paper Bag. Misty sings, "I was pissing on the flame like a child with cash or a king on cocaine. I've got the world by the balls. Am I supposed to behave?" This song seems like an admission of his own self-indulgent experience with fame and a nod to those who are presently pissing on the flame. The sound and feel of this track are really smooth, and it reminds me of a John Bryan composition / production. There's a great bass and drum interplay and a sweetly played Fender Rhodes. There is no shortage of somber ballads on Pure Comedy, and that's exactly what "When the God of Love Returns, There'll Be Hell to Pay" is. This track also gets the award for the longest song title ever. The song references the apocalypse and the second coming of Christ, where the destruction of the world is prophesied to occur. Tillman offers a dark comment for Jesus in the verse, "Jesus, you didn't leave a whole lot for me. If this isn't hell already, then tell me what the hell is." After this apocalyptic tune, the song Smoochie floats in. Smoochie seems to be about Tillman's battle with anxiety and depression. Smoochie is the pet name that his wife uses to comfort him during difficult emotional moments, according to the song. The song shows a fragility of Tillman and how his marriage keeps him anchored despite personal struggles. I wonder if in some way this pet name is a comical reference to the Death to Smoochie movie with Robin Williams. Definitely one of the more overlooked gems of his career. Father John Misty makes it a point to highlight the divisiveness and political divide that is engulfing the world of politics on the track Two Wildly Different Perspectives, which is another piano ballad that discusses the polarizing ideologies of liberalism and conservatism. But by the second verse, Tillman points to their mutual means to an end with the lyric. One side says, "Kill 'em all," the other says, "Line those killers up against a wall." But either way, some blood is shed thanks to our cooperation. The Memo is a country western ballad with upright bass and piano that is definitely the least concise country ballad you've ever heard. The song covers white privilege, music, sports, drugs, technology, and consumerism. Misty is interrupted towards the end of the track by the Mac Autospeak feature saying things like, "You're enjoying the chill winter playlist. This is totally the song of my summer, and this guy just gets me." Technology aside, there are also literary references on Pure Comedy with the track So I'm Growing Old on Magic Mountain, which is a reference to the Thomas Mann novel, The Magic Mountain. The book discusses life as events involving the protagonist's interactions with various characters on Magic Mountain and the idea of leaving Magic Mountain as a reference to death. In the song, Father John Misty is growing old on Magic Mountain, which points to the obsession with youth that our culture embraces and our unwillingness to face death as a reality. In 20 Years, the album closer has a nice instrumental interlude and the reassurance of the final repeated exclamation, "There's nothing to fear." The song relates the insignificance of our existence in the grand scheme of things, so why regret? Why worry? It's a poignant sentiment and one that undergirds many of the songs on the album. On the whole, I give Pure Comedy an 8 out of 10 for its insightful and thought-provoking subject matter and its well-produced, expansive sound. Ultimately, I found the album to be a bit less colorful, musically speaking, than I Love You Honey Bear. Pure Comedy seems to have been more of a weighty concept album for Josh Tillman, where he fleshes out the macabre sentiments surrounding our existence and the futility of the constructs of religion, politics, technology, and celebrity. Musicality wasn't the primary focus here. I feel like the album expresses a dissatisfaction with the present state of affairs in the world in a consistent way, with an indifference to the expectations of the listener. Pure art for the sake of art, or pure comedy for the sake of a world of endless futility. There are some brilliant moments on Pure Comedy, but it's not an album that you can turn to on a consistent basis because of its heavy subject matter. In response to Josh Tillman's Leaving LA commentary that's directed at his audience, I don't think anyone is jumping ship from the Father John Misty fan club. Given Tillman's continued propensity for unabashed honesty in his music, he's become a valuable voice that stands apart from today's culture of non-effectual artists who steer clear of difficult and controversial subject matter. And for this reason, I think we are still thoroughly interested in whatever he produces at this point. This has been another review from Conscious Ground Sound. If you like this review, go ahead and like the video and subscribe for more upcoming content. Make sure to leave a comment about the album and let me know what you thought of Pure Comedy. And check the links in the description box to hear the album, interviews, and other Father John Misty videos of interest.